Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Hello and welcome to Creative Ghettos, the show that explores various creative industries and profiles the Africans who push them forward. Each week, I spend 30 minutes unveiling excellent and inspiring individuals within creative industries, including but not limited to fine art, architecture, design, food, film, and publishing. My name is Kwanele. Thank you for joining me right here on brandlive.co.za. My guest today is Noluthando Nkosi. She's the founder and editor of CurveLoving magazine, an online publication which encourages self-love and body positivity. In a world where mainstream media seems to refuse to change its narrative on beauty, CurveLoving magazine is breaking boundaries and carving out a space that is lovingly all-inclusive. Noluthando, welcome to Creative Ghettos.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So I just want to get straight into speaking about weight and beauty, right? Growing up, how did you learn what is supposedly the ideal image of health and beauty?
Growing up, everyone is okay until a certain point. Like, when you're a 5-year-old, for instance, we all have, it's like how you don't see color, until someone teaches you to. So I was taught to hate my body, or to think that my body wasn't what society thinks is the norm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I've grown up being the chubby girl. I've been the tallest. I mean, blame my genes. I had absolutely nothing to do with it.
But chubby according to who?
Things.
That's also the thing.
But according to societal standards, because I mean, when I look at my pictures, it's funny now. In retrospect, I look at my pictures, and I wasn't that big of a child. But the amount of times that I was told I was the big girl, you then start fitting the mold. You then start speaking a certain way. You then start acting a certain way that fits the chubby girl mold.
Okay, and where is this coming from? Is it coming from adults around you, other children?
It's mainly coming from adults. So people project their thoughts of what normal is. And then you then take that. Obviously, kids are getting it from adults because adults were their first chicken and egg thing. You know?
Yeah.
So really, but more than anything else, it's coming from adults. It's coming from family more than it is from strangers, because family think that they can say absolutely anything to you and it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, going to family gatherings or whatever, as you walk in, you no longer have a name. People just go, hello Stula, and it's like, oh, okay, well, let's go with that. You know what I mean? And it hurts till it doesn't hurt anymore until it starts hurting again. Like it's just that cycle.
Yeah.
But I mean, because it's family, they think,
Yeah.
But you're not fat, or some just, and yeah.
What were some of the downsides to being constantly made to feel less than good enough because of your physical appearance? Maybe take me through, the downsides as a teenager.
Yeah. Well, the sense of belonging obviously then goes away. Not goes away, you yearn for it more. When you're in, I was one of those kids who grew up thinking you look a certain way through the ages.
Yeah.
So as a teenager, we're all this 13 to 14 clothing size kind of,
and it's acceptable at that point.
Yeah. And then you only gain weight after kids. In my head, that's how it works. It's like you fit the item of clothing based on what the label says.
Yeah.
And then with time, when you become a mom, then you've got this weight that you can just say, it's the kid.
But boom, it got to you. Teen life.
Then in a teen life, I'm wearing a freaking 36 at the age of 14. And yeah, guys, 36 is not what it used to be. Yeah.
But even the idea of 36, I think is so... I don't know. People make you feel as if you are a large girl because you're a size 36. I know.
That's it.
I know. I'm a pretty small girl.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, when I was 15, I think that's when I became a 34, and that's because of my waist size.
That's it.
So I'm never going to be a 28 because my waist doesn't,
But that's it. There's a lot of things to take into consideration, and that's what people don't look at. I mean, for my height, I was also wearing larger sizes to accommodate my height.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's not just a waistline thing. With absolutely every item of clothing I got, I've had to tailor. You know, my mom has been there to cinch here and
But you're lucky then from that sense.
I was and I mean, I was also lucky in the sense that I realized very early on that it was unhealthy for me to go on the way that I did.
Yeah.
And started working on it. Yeah.
That's actually what I want to get into next. When did that switch come to you, which made you realize that actually the world has been wrong about its marketed idea of beauty and health?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Well, one of the ways that I've been fortunate is that I've always chilled with people that were a lot older than me. But great people, so not just bad influencing adults.
Okay.
Like
we won't mention names.
yeah, no, let's not. But I mean, I've always had the pleasure of having older people around me who I'd learn from both indirectly and directly. And I remember the one time, I mean, I was very young still. It was still in my teens, call it 15 or whatever. And a friend of mine alerted me to the fact that I always made a comment about my weight, especially when it came to pictures. You know? Like I'd look at a picture and I'd go, oh my goodness, look how happy I looked there. Oh my goodness, look how thin I was there, you know. And yet even in that moment, none of those things were true. But looking back, it felt like, but look at this girl, she's smiling.
Better days.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at that point, when she then said to me, wow, I knew you were going to say that. I was like, yo, that's dangerous. That's like, how am I that predictable, or am I that sad right now? And I realized that was a problem. And I started looking into myself and questioning certain things, you know, like, why am I unhappy? Do I really not fit in? Am I really that big?
Yeah.
And so what if I am, you know, if I am that big, whose problem is it? Is it our weight or is it my weight? And do I need to deal with it, or do we need to deal with it? Do you know what I mean? And I started internalizing a lot of things that I needed to, and asking myself very hard questions, you know, because people's opinions are just that, they're people's opinions, but it's hard not to take them in, you know. So it was a roller coaster. It continues to be.
It's interesting that you started asking such very deep and real questions when you were still a teenager, because at that point, you know, you are being influenced about what you should be thinking about yourself from every direction. From a media point, how did that either help you out in terms of your self-realization, and how did it detract from that journey?
I must say, in the media, it was rough. You know, externally it was very rough. But one of the things that kept me going was my mother would always make reference to the fact that, who do you expect to look like? Like, she'd always point out my dad's side of the family and go, but look at what your aunts look like. You know what I mean? Like, so as if to say, you didn't just fall out of nowhere. You have these people around you that are related to you, and you need to look at them, and you need to look at what you've taken from them, that you have absolutely no control over. She obviously didn't say it in these words, but I mean, essentially that's exactly what she was saying. Ufuzebani. And I mean, it's the worst thing when they go, you look like your aunt, you know, but they're always saying it negatively. But when you sit down and you go, okay, I get it. That's
so true, because it always comes with a negative tone.
That's it. Yeah.
Can I tell you, you know, for me, the one thing that I used to struggle with, apart from my weight, I had serious weight issues. But after that, it was my breast size. Okay. Because my boobs, like, there was a point, you know, they were a normal, in quotations, size
within the realm of age.
and then all of a sudden, like, they just started becoming bigger. I mean, they're not that large, but I felt so uncomfortable with them, because you look at superstars and people who are doing really well in media, they don't have large breasts. So I, from the age of 18, just said, the day I get the ching
money.
ching,
Yeah. These
I'm
are
getting,
going.
like these
Yeah.
are going. And if it wasn't for my dad, like I probably would have done it a long time ago, because my father was just like, honey, let me tell you something. You're still gonna probably breastfeed and just relax,
slow your roll.
yeah I know. And for me, it's so sad that successful women, like the image of a successful woman is so
cutter.
it's so narrow. The idea is so narrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about CurveLoving, which is for me a force of its own. In fact, today marks the 1 year since its official launch, online launch
as an online magazine.
Yes, as an online magazine, because it was a blog before
Yes.
that you were running, just like
Yeah, this is me.
This is me.
How I feel. And then
but people loved it.
No, it was great.
Yeah,
It was
and then people just started
amazing.
loving it. It's a race story. Okay, so tell me about its beginnings and what was your main intention when you started?
So when I started CurveLoving, I realized the impact I had on the very small circles that I had around me, based on the way that I dressed, based on the way I spoke, and not wanting to be confined by societal constraints. Because I actually started standing up to people, and when people would say, "Oh my goodness, you're so big," and then I'd ask them the question, "So what did that comment do for you?"
BIPOC.
And I mean, it was just real questions. Which did you really feel the need to say that?
Yeah.
And what did it do for you?
Which is a good question.
Yeah. Because people just feel they can just speak, and as if people have no feelings, So I started doing stuff like that, and I realized that until you tell people that they're the problem, they don't know. So you can't blame them. When they know that it's a problem, but then that means that person is just a douche or whatever. But if they actually don't know what harm they're doing, then you can intentionally then teach that person a different way.
Yeah.
So I then decided I need to spread the word. I started a blog. It was really more a dear diary for me. It was my way. It was an outlet for me. And it got traction, and I got
Quickly.
the shock of my life.
Yeah, very quickly.
And I mean, one of the other things is that at the time that I started, it was so hard to find. This was in 2003. And I was following a lot of American blogs, both plus size and body positive and whatever. But it was so hard to find South African related blogs because, I mean, these girls are like, "Oh my God, I got my dress from ASOS." And I'm like, we ain't got no ASOS here. Where do I get mine?
Yeah.
So I would, wherever I then found clothes, I would make sure that I spread that, know. So that was one of the little things that I was doing, just showing women that there are options. You don't have to be this tent-looking person just because you're big, or you don't have to shop where your mother shops, because that was one of the biggest things for me. The moment I wasn't in the realm of 13 to 14, I had to go and walk with my mother through the store.
Oh, yeah, me ladies.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's not sexy.
Yeah.
But I'd always find a way to spin it and make it look like, actually, this is not from that store, it's from here, and pin it in different ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how it started. It gained so much traction, had a good, what year are we in? Oh my God, it's been forever.
It's 5 years.
Yeah.
Because you started in 2013.
No, in 2013, yeah.
According to your bio.
Yeah, sorry. It's 2013. Did I say 2003? It's 2013. And it grew so much, and we started doing events. And we decided to turn it into an online magazine, just to feature more about not just myself, but everyone else's story, because one thing that I wanted to break away from was the fact that I'm not the norm, and I need to move away from that. Yes, you know my story, and I appreciate that my story is helping you, but there's other ways, there's different body types. I realize also that I fall into the majority of what society looks at as the ideal body shape, which is that pear hourglass look. So, I'm perpetuating, unfortunately, the narrative by always posting myself. So I needed to step back, and show other women who are rectangular, who are inverted triangles, who are all these things, which are real women who have real issues when it comes to clothes, and share their stories so that we reach a broader market.
And even not just from a clothes side, but just from not being able to see other people that look like you. I know that's not supposed to, be something that helps you with your self-confidence, but it helps
definitely
a whole lot.
No, seeing people that look like you is very important in the media, because I love me some Beyonce, but I mean, I look nothing like her.
Yeah.
From a shape point of view, from a skin tone point of view, from a hell, I can't sing. So you think that she's the ideal, and because then you try to find something that is so similar to hers in you that validates you. So it's very important to see other women in the space that look and represent you. Yeah.
Okay, so you come from the advertising and marketing space, having worked for companies such as Ogilvy and Viacom.
Yeah.
Looking back, how did that experience help prepare you for your current role?
Nothing happens by mistake, and I was very blessed to have gone through that path, and having gained all that knowledge, it really worked for the better. Starting off CurveLoving, I didn't things made sense. Even when I started the brand, I knew what a CI/corporate identity needed to look like. I knew how to get to the market. I did the necessary things that some business owners wouldn't have done from the beginning. So it really went a long, long way. And I mean, it helped that I was in the media industry, simply because that's who feeds us. That's where we get a lot of our influence, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or fortunately.
Fortunately, actually. Yeah.
So, it was a great help.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think the bigger magazines, just speaking about media and its influence, do you think bigger magazines and even television shows are now beginning to do enough to be inclusive?
Look, it's not enough, but I love the way that it's going right now. I love the fact that when you look at, and it's not all brands just yet, but I mean, give everyone time. I love the fact that you can watch TV now or open a magazine and you will find someone who is not stick thin. Not that there's anything wrong with stick thin people, but I mean, if that's all we're posting, then it looks like that's the only way a woman should be. So it's the diversity is absolutely amazing, and with every month and every year it just gets better and better, and it's mind-blowing, and I'm excited about I'm excited and very wary, and I'll tell you why. The excitement is diversity is amazing, but in as much as we glorify the Twiggies of the world, we must be careful not to glorify obesity. I'm all for body positivity, but my biggest thing is health.
Yeah.
Can we know the difference?
Yes.
There is a huge difference. Anorexia is just as bad as obesity. So let's not just say being body positive is loving the way you are and letting yourself go. That's not what it is. Being body positive is being about yourself and doing everything good for yourself. And I always say, if you go to the gym and you lose weight as a side effect of you going to the gym,
amen.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't go to the gym to lose weight. Go to the gym to actually start a healthier lifestyle. And if you happen to lose weight, it was one of the things. Not even congratulations. I mean, a lot of people, and this is what I always say to people, is when people go, oh my goodness, you've lost weight. And they go, oh, thank you. And I'm like, but that wasn't a compliment. It was merely a statement.
Oh,
losing weight is not... it's not a compliment.
Okay, it's just part of it.
You look beautiful.
Yeah,
that is a compliment.
Either way. Yeah, and you look beautiful either way, whether you've lost weight or not.
And that's why we must be careful with what comes out of our mouths. But I'm excited about the body positivity movement. I just hope that people see the good and not just take it as a finally someone is letting us eat and gain
And
600 pounds.
And Rihanna is also someone that's, right now
Amazing.
with a Savage X.
Yeah.
That is incredible. For me, I've been waiting for someone to. I know there have been other brands, but the way she did it wasn't to say, this is for larger girls.
But
she just said, this is for women.
And that's what's so amazing, because we also need to stop putting women in compartments. Skinny girls to the left, plus size girls to the right. Women are women, and we look different. And, whether we have the same body shape, sometimes our style is not the same, or whatever the case is, So the likes of, and I mean, for the likes of Rihanna to do it is amazing, because she has incredible influence. And I love how she embraced her weight gain when it came, and I mean, the likes of Jeannie Mai, Jeannie Mai, she's been a stylist for as long as she could crawl, I'm sure. And now she's actually expressing how weight gain for her has been the best thing that she's ever done for herself. And in her weight gain, she's still exercising. But for the first time in her whole life, she is not only eating the way a normal person should be eating, without going, I can only have like 2 corners of this sandwich. But she's eating and realizing that with the eating that she's doing, there's a responsibility to ensure that she doesn't let herself go.
Yeah.
But she feels better in the size that she's in now, simply because she's living,
So after running CurveLoving for 5 years, have you been able to carve out a solid health and beauty standard for yourself?
It's a constant journey. Look, I think with everything that we do, with everything that we learn, because I mean, we need to constantly grow. We need to constantly change as people. So there isn't one thing that I can say, this is it and this is going to work for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
No. But every day, it's just self-affirmation more than anything else. Reminding myself who I am. Reminding myself whose I am. And what my role is to play in this world. And it doesn't have to really fit anyone else's anything.
I like how you think about health, that it's such a mental game first.
Definitely.
CurveLoving magazine is only one of your mind-shifting platforms. You have a radio turned TV show called The Curve Corner.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So The Curve Corner started... It branched out from CurveLoving.
Yeah.
So the events that we hosted for CurveLoving are actually called the Curve Corner. And the reason for that is that, I mean, everything is such a square. And we then decided, no man, let's add a
corner.
A kev.
A kev corner.
And really what it's about is it's to get all the subscribers to come through and share.
Yeah.
It's a platform where we speak about anything and everything. Nothing is off limits. Because so often we have these conversations like we're having now, but only with the people that we trust to a certain extent, in very small corners. And the problem is bigger than that. I can't feel comfortable only in your presence to be myself. I need to be myself wherever I go and not be apologetic about
it.
And let's share that information. So that's where it started. Then it turned into a radio show. How amazing.
I know. Out of the blue.
It was the best thing ever. And then turned TV show. So now it is on DSTV Africa, channel 188, which on Trigger. It's the traction is so amazing.
And Trigger is not available in South Africa,
unfortunately.
So you broadcast to which countries?
So we broadcast to Africa as a whole, except Lesotho and South Africa.
Are you serious?
Yeah. For now,
I don't understand that.
For now, we're coming, guys.
Okay.
I mean,
but that is so amazing, to be able, because that is a great. That's a great platform to be on, to be speaking to so many people within Africa about, so openly about whatever issues, whatever exciting things. Because I do know that you're not only speaking about body positivity on the Curve Corner, you're touching on everything.
And the beauty of it is, so my co-host is Kwanele, who's obviously a guy. And And, women are because of men and men are because of women. So it adds that whole new dynamic to absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Women do so many things because they're like, but men like this.
Yeah.
And guys are like, oh no, but we must be macho because
Yeah.
women like this. And it's amazing to see how all of that is false when you actually speak to real men.
And you're just being honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the dynamic between the two of us is absolutely amazing. And getting everyone else's views on the different conversations. Because men go through body issues too. I learned this and I was like, yo.
What do you call them? I've read something that you've written. Secret. What did they call
closet curve lovers.
Closet curve lovers.
African men actually like bigger women.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. Because African women are built in so not all African women, but African women tend to be built in a certain way. The Western culture has taught us that that's not the right way to look. So you find a lot of guys dating the Western look and then
In public.
Okay. And then on the side,
they have
the chubby girls.
Okay. All right.
So we call them closet curve lovers, and it's always so amazing when people go, "Oh my goodness, that's what I am."
It's like a therapy session.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next for CurveLoving magazine?
The world. So I love the fact that we operate online, both on the radio show. Currently only in Africa, but we also have a YouTube channel. So we are an international brand and there's no area we don't touch.
Yes.
If you have data, you can find
Yes.
CurveLoving, And really from here, there are absolutely no limits. The conversation is ongoing. It has no limits. That we can only grow. So where am I going? To the moon.
Let's go.
And further.
Vast, broad. Okay, just quickly, if there was one thing you'd wish all people should know about themselves, what would it be?
You're enough.
Done.
That's it.
Kwanele.
That's it. Exactly. It's
Enough.
You're enough. Everything about you. You know the India Ari song, every freckle in my face is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm not your average girl from your video.
Yeah.
That's
it.
Everything about you is where it's supposed to be.
Noluthando Nkosi, thank you so much for coming through and having this uplifting and eye-opening chat with me. But most of all, thank you for having the self-love, body positivity conversation with the world through CurveLoving magazine. Join the CurveLoving world on www.curveloving.co.za and follow the magazine on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The handle is @CurveLoving. To find out more about the Africans who drive various creative industries forward, make sure to follow Creative Ghettos on Instagram @Creative Ghettos. My name is Kwanele Kunene. Join me again next week, Friday from 2 to 2:30 p.m. for another impactful show. Bye for now.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.